This video is a walkthrough of the exam questions you will get when taking the period study, superpower relations and the Cold War. This unit is section A of the Edexcel Paper 2 exam and it is taken alongside the British depth study in section B. The entire exam is 1 hour 45 minutes long. This video is only examining the Cold War section A, which you should aim to complete in around 50 minutes and leave 55 minutes for section B. Let's begin. Question 1, 8 marks. The start of the question is always the same. Explain 2 consequences of something from the Cold War. The exam booklet page for this question is formatted so you discuss one consequence and then a separate second consequence. Please be aware that students occasionally use the same evidence in both consequences. Avoid doing this as you will only receive marks for it once, not both times. Therefore, it's best to think of each consequence as its own separate 4-mark answer. There is no need to make any links between the two. You should aim to write 4 or 5 sentences per consequence. The first sentence should describe what the something was. For example, the fall of the Berlin Wall ended the physical division of East and West Germany. After that, you should use the remainder of the answer to focus on the results of that something. In other words, what difference did this something make? To make sure you are explaining a consequence effectively, you should use sentence starters like, as a result of, or the effect of this was, or there is a clear connection between the something and the consequence. A strong answer is one that explains 2 consequences clearly, where those consequences are supported with specific information that demonstrates good knowledge of the period. This question should take about 10 to 12 minutes in total, or about 5 to 6 minutes per consequence. Pause the video and read my example answer of 1 consequence, but remember to get the full 8 marks you would need 2. Question 2, 8 marks. Question 2 always starts the same way. Write a narrative account analysing something. To guide you, the question comes with 2 stimulus points that serve as useful reminders of the chronology of events in the stated period. Those 2 points will always be in time order, and you need to think of a third. You don't have to use the points provided, but it's recommended that you do. Question 2 uses the term narrative account, but this does not mean make up a point of view character that witnesses what happens. Do not do that. What is meant by narrative here is an account which organises material into a clear sequence of events. And the best responses explain in depth how one event caused the next. Your account needs to be coherent, i.e. make sense, and logically structured, i.e. in time order, with a beginning, development, and an end, rather than 3 unlinked paragraphs. Again, frequent use of sentence starters like as a result of or this led to helps make sure you are suitably analysing the links between events. This question should take about 15 minutes. Pause the video and read my example answer. Question 3, 16 marks. Question 3 always starts the same way. Explain 2 of the following. The importance of something for something else. Times 3. Now, unlike question 2, which was asking you to give a coherent and logical account of a sequence of events, question 3 is asking you to explain how important something was for something else. You must demonstrate the consequences of the question's focus, the something, and its impact on a wider issue, the something else. For example, in the question, explain the importance of the Olympic boycotts for relations between the USA and the Soviet Union, you must talk about the something, in this case the US's decision to boycott the 1980 Moscow Olympic Games, e.g. it allowed the US to show their disapproval of the USSR's 1979 invasion of Afghanistan. But you must also explain how this affected the something else. That is, the relations between the USA and the Soviet Union, e.g. the American boycott was important because it made plain to the Soviet Union that the period of cooperation was over and the USA was ready and willing to resist attempts to spread communism. Your answer must, as always, keep within the time frame of the question. Events outside this period receive 0 marks. Your explanation should show a clear line of reasoning, analysing the importance of the event by showing the consequences and impact on the Cold War in a coherent and logical way. Whilst there is no one way to write this answer, I recommend you should aim to write 3 paragraphs. The first paragraph should focus on the something of the question, e.g. the Olympic boycott, or the Truman Doctrine, or whatever. The second and third paragraphs should be focused on the impact that something had on the something else, US-Soviet relations, or the development of the Cold War, etc. This being the case, I would hope to see sentence starters in the second and third paragraphs that begin with, "This showed the importance of," "So the something was important because." This question has 3 choices, from which you must answer 2. The entire question should take about 25 minutes, with each choice of question taking about 12 to 13 minutes each. Pause the video and read my example answer. Remember, this is only one answer. Question 3 requires 2. That's the end of this walkthrough through the period study Superpower Relations in the Cold War, Section A of Paper 2. I also have walkthroughs on other Edexcel GCSE history exam papers, so check them out. Good luck.